everybody, welcome to the channel. So, today, there's a story. It involves me and my ears. So, back in 2015, yeah, it's 3 years ago, isn't it? Time flies by really fast. Okay, so, back in 2015, I was a freshman. I was in a dorm room and I was talking about my experience with hearing aids. That was on YouTube 3 years ago. Just letting you guys know, you can actually find that by typing in my name or whatnot. I don't know. Something's really wrong with me. So I got a lot of views, I got a lot of comments, and the most question was, we need an update. And so this is the perfect time for me to give you guys a better explanation of what I have and what I've gone through, basically giving you guys a proper update with these. So without further ado, let's get the video started. So September 2nd at 8:03 a.m. I was born. This angel face right here was born. And just letting you guys know that hearing testing screeners and whatnot was not put into the hospital until late to mid 2000s. And growing up, there was not a problem until around the age of 3 years old. At the age of 3, I began to show symptoms, or like basically signs of what I have. Just to give you guys an example, this is what my parents have told me so far. When I was little, I would come like real close to the TV screen, and they thought, maybe her eyesight's are bad. So they tested me in pointing out words and all that stuff. They're like, okay, she can see those words, but what is up with her coming up to the screen? Like, I would be this close. That's because, to me, I could not hear that well. Like, even the slightest, like, highest note on a TV, like, volume, whatever you call it, I still can't hear it. And I was like, if I get closer, I'll look fine. Enough of that. And then my parents would call my name constantly, and they would get higher and higher and higher based on their vocal volumes, and still I wouldn't hear it. So just to give you guys a scarier version of what I went through, when I was about I think I was still 3 at the time. We were at this very beautiful park where it has swing sets and climbing stuff. Like, that's all I know. And with a better image of what I'm trying to tell you is, here is the park, and right on the edge is a creek. It has a lot of rocks. There's a river. There's like water going through it. The creek is not that big, but it's big enough to have a child jump in. And so my mom noticed that a couple of the girls and I don't know who was with me, I was in my own little world. I was running, and my mom's like, Madison, ah! And so she ran, caught me, and she's like, okay, that's it. I'm going to take you to the doctor, but for now I'm bringing a whistle. So every time we go to the park, she would bring this whistle. Parents would look at her and like, why is she whistling at her kid? So it took about 3 doctors to go through just before my parents were like, okay, that's it. Like, we're taking you to a specialist that knows what they're doing. The reason why it took them 3 doctors, because all 3 of them said the exact same thing. This is more like mystery diagnosis, where you go to 3 doctors like, oh, she's fine, and really like, something's wrong with my child. So what happened was, they all told my parents like, oh, it's just a behavior issue, she'll grow out of it. Normally kids who don't listen to their parents, that's normal, just go with it. And my parents like, no, that's not what it, that's not what's happening, no. And so my parents took me to a specialist that go with, hearing and seeing, all that. And this was like downtown, and it took about maybe 30 minutes to get there. It wasn't that long. And I had to be put to sleep just to go through a hearing test where the audiologist is behind an audiogram, which is where they control and figure out how many decibels can a normal child can hear, like their hearing, based on the sound coming in and out of the ears. Well, while they were testing it, they noticed that my decibels were like I can only reach to the highest decibel I can think of, and the screen literally shows a big dip on my hearing test. The only way to tell if it's normal if it's in the gray area. If you guys know what an audiogram is, that's great. If you don't know what it is, look it up, and if you type in normal audiogram testing, you'll see there's a gray box and there's a line that goes through like this. If your hearing is normal, your line should be normal in the gray area. If not, it should be shaped like a banana. This is what I learned in audiology class. So over the speakers of my mom sitting there holding me, because you have to hold your child still with all like the tube and stuff in order for them to get a correct hearing test that comes out. And there's these speakers, and they're like, it looks like she has hearing loss. Looks like she has this and that. They accidentally left the speakers in where they can communicate with the parent and go, okay, put her in this position, whatnot. My mom just lost it. Like, she was crying, and when they took my parents and I into the family private room with in the office where they discuss what is the next step, basically you tell the parent further testing instead of fail, because everything's bad. So I was diagnosed with bilateral hearing impairment. Basically that means both of my ears are a no-go. I only have you have like little hairs that vibrate when sound comes in, and it makes the sound like it copycats it. I don't know. If you guys are watching this, you're like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm like, that's fine. This is what I know. I only have a certain amount. Like, you have a lot for normal, but I only have itty bitty. I was born with like almost to none, which is close to being deaf. And basically, the best thing to do is to give me hearing aids. We call these dinosaur hearing aids because they were like really tan as your skin, where it could blend in. But the only thing that you can notice a child does have hearing aids if you see a big like chunk thing in the ear and a big tube. I had to deal with that throughout my life, and the only thing I was embarrassed about was how big the mold was. Basically, a mold is where it like sits in your ear and it holds the tube, and then it holds into the hearing aid itself where sound comes directly in and out. I'll show you mine in just a second. So I've been wearing those up until the age of 17, I think. Like, you get new ones every few years, but the mold is every few months because your ear starts to grow. It stops at a certain age. That's what I kind of know. And you have to get new molds every few months. Hearing aids are expensive. That's what I was told by my parents. But like, as long as like you have insurance, just like cover the basic of it, you should be fine. I'm not an expert of how much hearing aids do cost, but I know it's expensive at the time because my parents have gone through a lot just to make sure I have proper hearing. There was something I was gonna say. Oh yeah, the cool thing about this technology is there's this weird booth thing that attached to the hearing aids, and basically it connects to a box. If you were a kid and you had a kid in your classroom where you see a teacher wear this like weird gray box and has like a little knob and stuff on it, and it has like a string that attached with a microphone, that's for a kid who has hearing issues. I'm not saying everybody has hearing issues, I'm just saying just certain kids who needed it the most. And they were attachable, and I only wore them for school. And it got to a point where like I got old enough and they were starting to invent, if you notice in classrooms that you see a teacher wear this weird like necklace, it's like probably about this big, it's white and has a little like black thing on it and has a little line. That's like a speaker, and it helps the teacher be more more louder, if you know what I mean. More louder for the students to hear, because some students, like, they don't have bad hearing, but they can have trouble understanding the teacher, so that's when they invented them. And it also helped kids with hearing aids, or like any hearing issues that they were born with. So yeah, so that's the story of what I went through. Here's the update. So because technology has gotten so big, that the hearing aids they invented got pretty awesome. If you ever see anybody wear a Bluetooth in their ear, like for, professional, like talking to their workers and all that stuff, my hearing aids are like that, only there is this app I'm going to show you. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, yes, it's May. My house is really cold. It's raining outside. I woke up in the dark, and it's freezing. Not like, outside. I don't want to be in the rain. I want to stay here. But it's freezing. So this is what I'm wearing. Underneath is my Ellie Goulding concert shirt. Just letting you know. Alright, so I'm going to take you to this app. It is called TrueLink. TrueLink is the only connection way for my hearing aid to connect to my phone. So just to give you guys a little thing, it might be backwards. So as you can see, okay, here we go. Okay, so right here is like my left and right ear. You see how it has percentage? That's how much battery percentage I have. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna flip this over. Don't worry, it'll be cut. Okay, so as you guys can see, when you open this app, you will see like my hearing aids are on normal, where basically everything I hear is normal. Right here it says right and left. That stands for the percentage amount of batteries. Like your phone, it doesn't tell you the percentage, but basically it tells you how much battery you have left. Right here this is my favorite. It allows you to adjust the amount of sound you want in your hearing aids. So mine are about like the lines right here in the dot area. That's where, like, how high I want my hearings to be. And whenever I click this button, it means that I won't hear at all. So let's go to memory. Now, just to give you guys a better view, I'm sorry this is blurry. My camera hates me right now. Okay, that says crowded. If I'm in a crowd and I can't really hear what the stage is happening, I click on that. If I'm outdoors, I will click on that just so I can have a better hearing of, like, nature getting out. I forgot what streaming means, but I know that I keep my hearing aid at this rate, the normal rate. I never got a chance to, like, use any of these because there's no use for it. And then I click done. And then you have a personal right here. I'm sorry, I really hate this. You click this. You can create your custom memory of the way you want to hear, and it tells you like what you used so far. So, oh look, it's me. Hi. Anyway. And the coolest part about it is it acts like a Bluetooth. Like, I'm able to listen to music, watch TV, like YouTube, Hulu, Netflix. I'm able to watch videos on, like, any of my Snapchat stories and whatnot. If I'm laughing at something and I'm watching a video and people are like, how do you even hear? Do you read lips? I mean, yes, I kind of read lips. I know a little bit of sign language because I took that class. But it's great. It's great. When you want to watch Grey's Anatomy, you're going to want to hear everything. And let me give you guys, oh, and I'm able to listen to calls and stuff, okay, so please excuse what my hearing aid looks like. I just need to get a new mold. So, this is what it looks like. So, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's small, probably the size of maybe half the size of a quarter. I'm sorry if you hear noise. Okay, so, if you guys can, okay, flare up. Okay, if you guys can see, there's this hole and that hole. These are speakers that make the sound go in, and it travels all the way through here and into this. I know it looks really weird in coloring, but that's what happens if you get clear. And this is probably the size of a dime, but I love it anyway. And the way I turn on my hearing aids, if you take this, you pull it back, see? And out comes this really itty bitty battery. And for those of you who want to know what size battery I use a size 13. That's the one with the orange kind, not the dark brown one, which is what I used for a rented hearing aid while this hearing aid was being processed. If you guys ever go to like Walgreens, or you go to that one section of the store where it's the battery section, and you see circles or like weird boxes and these weird circle things, those are for hearing aids. And there are technology out there where they use that kind of battery. I don't know what, but that's exactly what I use. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. If you're new to this channel, hit subscribe. If you want to get more weekly updates on videos like this, I don't know when I'm going to start updating, but it's going to be soon. Click on the notification bell so you can get more updates. By the way, we have an Instagram account. That will be linked in the description box below. And don't forget, just like most artists, guess whose it is? Guess whose it is? It's your